Luka with the tape around his left lower leg. Just update, not just on him, but Austin, DeAndre, all the guys.
Luka has a lower left leg contusion. He'll be day-to-day. AR participated partially in practice today. He'll be day-to-day. Rui also day-to-day. No real update there. And then DA was a full participant, and I think he's off the injury report. Gabe is still out.
Were you able to figure out when exactly the Luka injury happened?
Yeah, he got kneed by Bogdanovic.
Was it on the post-up? Like, there was a play?
It was on the play where he got kneed in the lower leg.
He gets hit like that a lot.
Yeah,
just sort of like
we've noticed.
Based on, I mean,
like literally, we've noticed.
I mean, it's just, is it the way he plays? Is that just sort of kind of?
It could be just the decel, I don't know, the way he uses his body. I don't know. We'll have to, we're talking about just looking into ways to potentially protect against these sort of like collisions, the mechanisms that keep happening where he's getting hit.
Yeah, that's when you said the knee. I was like, I saw like 3 different ones.
Yeah, it was the Bogdanovic one. I'm not sure when it happened, but it's happened in a bunch this season.
When you get hit like that, like the bruise, like it seemed like he was able to play through it at times. Acceleration looked good, and then when he came back in, it appeared to have like tightened up pretty badly. Is that kind of?
He just told me he couldn't go. I don't know the progression of what the muscle did.
Okay. Is that generally what happens when you get hit like that in a game? Is that not that you spend a ton of time like?
I didn't have a lot of lower leg contusions. I dealt with my fair share of Charlie horses. But yeah, I can grip a little bit.
As far as Austin, in terms of the calf injury, like at this point, what's it take for him to go from moderate to all the way there? Is it a confidence thing? Is it?
I think, given the nature of that area, I think it's where he feels 100% confidence that he doesn't feel anything. It's fun. It's fun, guys. It's fun. It's a fun day. Talking about injuries. Talking about injuries. Yeah, talking about injuries.
How about the player, Jake? He's giving you all the. You got me off this stuff now. That's my Jake's play.
Yeah. I think for all our guys, and it's not just the guys that are our defensive players. I think all our guys. We're confident we're going to start making some shots, Jake included. The one thing that a number of our guys have really embraced, particularly over the last 3 games, is just being super physical defensively, making extra efforts, and crashing. And Jake's been awesome with that. Really, we've seen stretches and glimpses of it throughout the 20-some games we played, but his physicality defensively, given his size, has been really good. And he did it last time we played Phoenix, and did it in Utah. Did it again against the Clippers.
Did Luka have any contusions since the Clippers game?
The lower leg contusion. It's been diagnosed, confirmed lower leg contusion.
Another maybe a narrative-based question. I know how much you love injury reports and stuff like that. You guys put out your marketing materials as a team for All-Star voting, and Austin was right there alongside LeBron. Those guys have experienced that. Big picture, when you think of his story and stuff like that, what would it mean, you think, to that player potentially be an All-Star this season?
Yeah.
And I guess just, being around him day-to-day, you sort of forget, I think, sometimes some of the journey.
I would imagine it would mean a whole lot to him. And him and I have had discussions just about how surreal it is for him to be playing at this level and in this position. I obviously absolutely think he should be an All-Star this year. There's you always got to be careful as an athlete to stop and smell the roses. it's just the nature of competition, particularly when there's 82 games. There's not really like a time to take your foot off the gas. That's the off season, and I think he's the type of player who consistently wants to get better, consistently wants more, is willing to put in the work, and is willing to go out on the court and play hard enough to actually go for more. And he's proven that over and over and over again.
He said something to me before the season once that, like, if playing alongside Luke and LeBron meant that he got to win and he wouldn't be an all-star, like, that's fine. Like, it's hard to be the third guy and be an all-star.
Yeah.
Did you believe he was capable of being an all-star alongside those players? Like, that there's, like, he's good enough and there's, like, enough room?
Yeah, our first conversation when I took the job was, you're going to be an all-star. So, yeah, I believed it. By the way, I'm not, like, going to every player and saying that. Like, I actually said it because I believe it.
Hey, man, you're an all-star.
Yeah.
Why were you so sure?
I hadn't had many interactions with Austin. We had the podcast we did in I think it was December, the start of the season, and I'm willing to bet on guys that are wired a certain way.
Thanks, Coach.
Yep, thanks.
Man, whenever y'all ready. Shit, I don't know, allergies. I need a list of allergies and all of that. Then we got you. We talk.
What kind of, we haven't talked just into that elbow stuff. What kind of happened, and what have you been dealing with here?
Really, I don't know. Just it's a physical game. I don't know. Adrenaline was pretty high, and trying to rebound and all those, getting tangled up, boxing out, and I think I just hyperextended it a little bit. That's about it. A little tightness. We checked it out, and everything came good.
So you good to go for tomorrow night at 8?
Most definitely, I'm straight. Most definitely.
The ebbs and flows of this season are wild, and the ups and downs are what they are. How is this team, and how have you been able to kind of remain consistent? Kind of when things are good, when things are bad. How has this team been able to stay together?
We have our spurts where we don't have our full guys. I think we played about 2 games with the full team. Other than that, it's next man up mentality. We've been shorter guy since the start of the season, and we pretty much adapted to that. We've adjusted to who's out there and played certain types of basketball where we're comfortable with. Do certain concepts out there as well where it's comfortable. To get some baskets going. But other than that, we put trust in JJ hands where he's running that playbook the right way and putting us in positions to score.
Yeah, you mentioned kind of the going for a rebound, the way you get pulled and shoulder, I'm sure, some nights and stuff like that. Luka got elbowed in the or knee in the calf. That happens a lot. Like, what are the things? Sorry, I'm distracted by the music. What are the bumps and the bruises that people don't understand? Like, how physical and how do you feel after you play in NBA?
Yeah, most definitely. Running so many miles, during the game, especially, it's almost like in spurts. You feel very tired, and your ligaments and muscles are just really just worn out. Especially a guy like Luke, every possession he's going hard, and he's trying to play make and get a good shot for the team. You imagine the defense, with him seeing 2-3 guys every night, and they throwing different coverages at him like blitzes, and just even being physical to disrupt his play, and things like that could happen. Just gotta play through some of that, and like where we are right now, next man up mentality for real.
You mentioned that you guys have been bought into JJ's game plan and just kind of sticking with that. But what have you kind of learned about him during this process in like the first early parts of the season as a coach?
What I learned from him? So how to face adversity. Where he embraces it. I feel like he's a guy where he relies on his players, and he trusts us, to trust his word and what he has planned for this game and things like that, and how to approach it. And it's really contagious. Where sometimes the way he brings his intensity, everybody brings up their intensity, and it helps the team. And I love it.
Just part of the help of this team seems to be when a guy does it from this time, they end up rooting for the guy that plugs in for them, next up mentality. What do you think of Jackson's night in Utah?
Jackson, from the beginning of the year, Jackson he's been doing phenomenal. He's been doing phenomenal. I told him every time, to be honest, you are the best big man I played alongside with. When it comes to holding your own, yeah, we have different style of play, but you are our momentum guy. You know, do the loud, thunderous dunks and having the crowd involved and turning up the team. You know, other than me just trying to find a pocket shot. You know, he brings the momentum to the team and brings that offense going where the pick and roll is going pretty fluid. And, you know, just flying in the sky, even the attempts where you fall down sometimes, you know, just letting teams know that you have to watch your head. And, you know, you can't really ask for much. You know, he's playing on second effort as well where, you know, talent doesn't even show really. It's just him really putting in effort and sacrifice. I always, you know, give him his flowers every game, just having my back, especially when I can't play.
JJ talked about how like this season's kind of been chaotic with all the injuries and stuff like that, but how have you guys been able to stay calm among the chaos of this season, and where do you think that kind of like leadership kind of mentality comes from to stay calm?
I mean, everybody talks. You know, this is not a quiet team. We all are aware of what's going on and how, you know, we're in and out, and we have to play with our full team, but we communicate, and that's what brings closure. You know, where, you know, the guy might not be out there, or our superstars might not be out there, but, you know, they with us in spirit to where, you know, they talk to us and still feel like they out there because, you know, the intensity and the approach they bring, you know, contributing without being on the floor. And that brings a lot to the game that people don't know. You know, just having that guy back who's the backup or who's the sixth man, you know, who's that two-way, who's playing, you know, just give them the pointers and, you know, making them feel comfortable.
When you decide to try to help other people, you don't do so with I believe you're not doing it to try to win an award from the NBA someday or something like that, but what did it mean for you to be recognized for your work in Jamaica, your work here in LA, off the court, and to have that recognition come with your teammates?
Yeah, it's speechless, to be honest. It was an award I didn't expect. You know, I tried my best to, you know, to give back and, you know, just, you know, contribute the best way I can, and, you know, things me and my family care about, and, you know, I can just say thank you. It's something I've never been in a position like that to where I got an award like that. So it's more like just, you know, we're honored. You know, we're not going to stop doing what we do, but I truly appreciate the community, especially the Lakers, even being on this platform, you know, making it worldwide.
Speaking of platform, later on this week, you guys will play on Christmas Day. It's one of the showcase events for the NBA. And you guys are going to be, no matter what happens in Phoenix, you're going to be the top half of the Western Conference standing. How does it feel for you as kind of a check-in point in your decision to come here and kind of look at how things have gone? I imagine the way you envision them going up to this point.
I don't. I don't know. I don't even think about things like that. That's up to you guys. How you guys envision it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not writing stuff about me, you know, on how my progress has been. I don't even remember anything. You know, I just remember today. You know, I remember yesterday fixing my elbow. Now I'm back. You know, other than that, I go game by game. And then when that game happened, I forget about that game. And I forget about the rest of the games. You know what I'm saying? If it's an L, I learn from the L, and I keep going to get a win. That's it.
Live in the moment.
You can say that. That's how you want to do it.
It's a few days away, but just any thoughts or excitements about playing your first Christmas Day game?
You know, just happy to go out on Christmas Day and, you know, do the thing I love, you know, be out there and, you know, enjoy a great game.
Yeah, any of your favorite memories from, like, just watching Christmas Day games growing up or anything?
Just, you know, being able to wake up, open presents, you know, at the beginning of the day, and as the day goes on, just eat, you know, play with whatever you got, and then just, you know, NBA games, get on the TV, just sit down with your family and watch the game. So it's special now to be playing in those games.
Adou, there was a play against the Clippers where you were matched up on Harden on the left wing, and I think Austin was standing up, like just barking stuff and like trying to coach you up on the side. What's it been like working with your team, and how invested in you do you feel like they are?
I feel like everyone's really invested in me. You know, every day it's always something different. You know, someone letting me know where I could improve at, or you know, help the team at, and you know, that's just been what it was, and that was a real life example right there of Austin doing it on the sideline. But you know, he was standing and doing it, but I feel like everybody was saying something because it was a lot of words being thrown at me. I didn't know what was being said.
How much do you think your ability to play defense and to move at your size can help you get on the court?
I feel like that's probably my one of my strongest attributes right now, and something I take pride in, not letting the offensive player, get a wide open look or, something they're comfortable, a shot they're comfortable with, and just trying to make them uncomfortable, and just trying to use that to my advantage.
Max Christie was here, came in relatively young out of college, and it felt like top to bottom, the organization, players, staff, front office invested in him, and a couple years later, he's a consistent role player in the league. Has there been any references to Max in your time here, or anyone told you about his time? No. Okay.
Nah, it hasn't. Not really any references. Just a lot of teaching and contributing for sure.
JJ said something to us a couple weeks ago that I think people took it a certain way on the internet, but just like that he didn't think that a rookie has ever been good on off-ball defense in the NBA, that just the pattern recognition and the speed and all that stuff, like that guys later in their career, it's such a leap. I guess, like, where do you feel like you're at off-ball right now, and do you feel progress like every time you see a play twice? Is that what it's like kind of as you learn that part of defending in this league?
I could understand why I would say that. Seeing things for the first time, you're not really gonna recognize it, but after reps and being out there and noticing those patterns as you were talking about, I feel like it gets easier. With everything you need experience, so getting that experience will always help at the end of the day.
How do you feel like the time you've spent with South Bay has kind of helped with your progression and your development?
Just being able to get back to who I am, remembering who I was, coming off this injury, and being able to just get back up to speed with everything.
Do you feel like you're back to that guy yet? Like who you were before the injury?
I still feel like with trying to find where I fit on this team, I can't really get back to that exact person, but I could take some things from what I did in college and level up from there.
Thanks, dude.
Thank you.
Thank you.